Who was the lost Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov? For decades, one woman claimed to be her, captivating the world with a story of survival, royalty, and hidden identity. This is the incredible and ultimately tragic tale of Anna Anderson. Our story begins in the horrifying aftermath of the Russian Revolution. In July 1918, Tsar Nicholas II, his wife Alexandra, and their 5 children were executed by Bolshevik secret police. The world believed the entire Romanov family was gone forever. But rumors persisted. Whispers of a miraculous escape, of one child surviving the massacre, began to surface. 2 years later, in 1920, a young woman was pulled from the Landwehr Canal in Berlin after a suicide attempt. She was taken to a mental asylum, unidentified and refusing to speak. She had no papers, no name, and scars that hinted at a violent past. For months, she was known simply as Fräulein Unbekannt, or Miss Unknown. Then, everything changed. A fellow patient at the asylum, Clara Puthert, saw a newspaper article with photos of the executed Romanov family. She became convinced that Miss Unknown was the Grand Duchess Tatiana. When the woman denied it, Clara suggested another possibility. Was she Anastasia? The woman didn't deny it this time, and the seed of one of the 20th century's greatest mysteries was planted. Soon, Russian emigrants and former Romanov associates began visiting her. Their reactions were a mix of absolute belief and total skepticism. Some, like the Tsar's sister Olga Alexandrovna, initially felt a connection, but later dismissed her. Others, like the Tsar's cousin Grand Duke Andrei Vladimirovich, became staunch supporters, offering financial and emotional backing. The woman, who now called herself Anna Anderson, began to recount memories of the imperial court. She spoke of intimate family details, private nicknames, and the layout of the palaces. Her supporters were mesmerized. How could a stranger know these things? She knew about a specific surgery Anastasia had, and she had scars that matched the locations of Anastasia's reported bayonet wounds. Her mannerisms, her posture, and what some described as an imperial air convinced many that she was the real deal. But there were major red flags. Anna couldn't speak Russian, a language Anastasia was fluent in. She claimed the trauma had made her forget. She also refused to see certain key family members, like Anastasia's grandmother, the Dowager Empress Marie Feodorovna, who desperately wanted to believe a grandchild had survived, but remained unconvinced. As Anna's fame grew, so did the opposition. A private investigation funded by the Tsarena's brother, Ernest Louis, Grand Duke of Hesse, uncovered a different identity. The investigator claimed Anna was actually Franziska Schanzkowska, a Polish factory worker with a history of mental illness. Franziska had disappeared around the same time Anna Anderson appeared in Berlin. She had been injured in a factory explosion, which could explain her scars. The Schanzkowska family even identified photos of Anna as their missing sister, but when they met her in person, the encounter was confusing and inconclusive. Anna, for her part, denied ever knowing them. The battle over her identity raged in the courts for decades. It became one of the longest-running legal cases in German history. Anna was fighting for recognition and for access to the alleged Romanov fortune held in foreign banks. She gained supporters worldwide, people who were charmed by her story and believed in her tragic plight. She eventually moved to the United States in 1968 and married a wealthy history professor, Jack Manahan. He was a lifelong Romanov enthusiast and believed her completely, calling her his imperial wife. They settled in Charlottesville, Virginia, living an eccentric life surrounded by cats. To the very end, Anna Anderson maintained she was Anastasia. She passed away in 1984, taking her secret or her delusion to the grave. For many, that was the end of the story. But science had one final chapter to write. In 1991, after the fall of the Soviet Union, a grave was discovered near Yekaterinburg. It contained the remains of the Tsar, the Tsarina, and 3 of their daughters. But 2 bodies were missing, Alexei and one of the duchesses, fueling speculation that it could be Anastasia. This discovery gave a last glimmer of hope to Anna's supporters. That hope was extinguished just a few years later. With the advent of DNA technology, scientists were able to test a tissue sample from Anna Anderson that had been preserved from a medical procedure. They compared her DNA to that of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, a living relative of the Romanovs. The result was definitive. There was no match. Anna Anderson was not a Romanov. Further DNA tests were done, comparing her DNA to a maternal grandnephew of Franziska Schanzkowska. This time, it was a perfect match. The science was undeniable. The woman known as Anna Anderson was, in fact, the missing Polish factory worker. And what about the 2 missing children from the first grave? In 2007, a second, smaller grave was found nearby. It contained the remains of a teenage boy and a young woman. DNA testing confirmed they were the Tsarevich Alexei and the final Grand Duchess Anastasia. The entire Romanov family had been accounted for. The mystery was finally and completely solved. So why did so many people believe her? Perhaps it was a desire for a fairy tale, ending to a brutal story. The idea of a lost princess surviving against all odds was a powerful narrative. Anna Anderson herself may have suffered from a severe identity disorder, possibly brought on by trauma, leading her to genuinely believe her own story. Or maybe she was a remarkably convincing impostor who seized an opportunity. The story of Anna Anderson is a captivating blend of history, mystery, and human psychology. It reminds us how strongly we want to believe in miracles, even when the evidence points elsewhere. It's a tale of a lost identity, whether royal or common, that continues to fascinate us to this day. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as intriguing as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe.